This time I want to talk about 5 different life hacks that you can use for becoming a real estate agent or to be a successful real estate agent. And I came up with a little list of things that I am currently doing as a future real estate agent. And I came up with things that I believe are pretty good, and I think they're pretty creative. I haven't seen anyone else do some of these. Some of these ideas aren't that like original, not as in I took them from someone else, but there's something that are just kind of like, I guess I would consider straightforward, something more obvious, more common sensey. So it's not that I took it from someone else, it's just that it's kind of common sense, so several people do it. But sometimes I like to touch up and kind of detail why and how it might be you can use it in a different way. So the first one I like to do is important to leverage sites like Groupon, Living Social, sites that give you like really big discounts on different things to do. And the great thing about these sites is that they actually have a bunch of courses and licenses you can get through their website. So when I was looking to get my license, I of course had to sign up for a course, a real estate course, so that I can pass that and then go take the test, to the exam, I guess, the final exam, to get my license. And as I did my research, I kept coming across classes. A lot of them are within these real estate brokerages, like for example RealMax, they have a course. A lot of other brokerages or agencies, they already have a course, but they're a fortune. They were like $300-400, and that's not even including the book. And there's like the elective course, and it just, on average, any other course that I could find through a, what would be considered a top-notch school for real estate was anywhere between $300 to $500, $600. I believe at one point I even saw a course that was like $1,000 alternative. So this is where it led me to Groupon. I went to Groupon, and sure enough, I searched real estate courses. That's where I got the idea. And so I went and I saw that there were several courses. They range from $50 up to $200, depending on which course you get, depending on the company. But I went with one called Real Estate Express, and they have several packages, and they range from $50 up to I think like $200, something like that. It comes with all the material for you to pass, and I believe I got the option where if I don't pass by the end of my 6 months, I get my money back supposedly. So we'll see how that works, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna pass it the first time. And the point is, I spent $50. That's right, $50 on the course. Now, if you've already taken the course, you're probably sitting there saying, no way, there's no way. But I'm gonna post somewhere right here, I'm gonna post the screenshot of the prices and everything on Groupon. Go ahead, do your research. It's the full course, it's just online. And the great thing is you get to go at your own pace. So here's the shitty thing about doing a typical realty course. You're in a classroom once a week or something with a professor, an instructor, with other classmates, and you have to wait every week to get that new material for whatever it is. For that, at the end of the day, if you're looking to spend only $50 instead of $300, $400, $500, and you have the freedom to finish it whenever you want, of course, remember, you have to be disciplined. If not, I don't recommend this at all. Just like anything else, I don't recommend it. I highly recommend using credit cards for points, but I don't recommend it if you're not disciplined. If you don't have the money that you're gonna spend on that credit card, if you don't have it cash to pay it off before the bill comes so that your utilization rate isn't high, you should not be that person doing that. So everything in life is tailored to different people. And again, if you think you can do it on your own, this is great. All right. Another thing you can do if you want to save money on your course is to leverage a community college. A lot of community colleges offer a real estate course where you can actually get your associate's degree. It's the same thing because the college courses you're taking to supplement with the real estate ones are a bunch of courses that are generic things that you learn in high school. Like, it's virtually the same thing, but don't get me wrong, an associate's degree of real estate or whatever they call it compared to just a real estate license, I'm sure that sounds a little nicer. But my point with that is that if you are a low income individual, or you're just, you don't have a ton of money on paper, that you make a ton of money on paper, you can qualify for financial aid. And this will be completely free. Completely free. And you will get the opportunity to get the real estate, associates in real estate. So that is just great. So there's one way of getting it free, and there's a way of only paying $50 and doing it on your own time. So that's number one. Number two, we all know that in real estate, it's very important to look good and look sharp and professional, especially when we're going to be young millennial real estate agents like myself, at least. If you're a person that's in your mid-age, that's fine. You still have to dress professional, you know that, but that's a known thing. In real estate, you're not going to show up in a t-shirt and pants. I mean, there might be some people who pull that off, but that's not what I would recommend. I would recommend you definitely try to look your best. And so for that, there is a hack that I thought of. I'm so sorry guys, I was editing the video and I saw that a big portion of the clip got cut out. So I came here to add the piece that got cut out. And that is to continue with the part where you can easily go get a job at a place like Express or Nordstrom's or any place that you like the clothing, especially their professional attire. Places like Nordstrom's have great deals, and the awesome thing about it is that they will tailor your clothes for free. The hack with this is to go get a part-time job, even if it's working 2-3 hours in the evenings. Again, going with what I said earlier, if you are a real estate agent, odds are you're gonna have times where you're gonna have downtime-ish, if you think about it, because you're not gonna always be able to do marketing or to show clients a house or any of that stuff. You're gonna have times where you're just gonna have to do other things. And if you had a part-time job to not only supplement your income, but these places like Express and Banana Republic and all these places, Zara, they want you to look good. They want you to look great. This is kind of part of their company policy, I believe, that you have to look good and you have to dress a certain way. So their incentive to you is to give you employee discounts on their clothes. The key thing is to go there, get a job, and start acquiring some clothing, maybe 4 or 5 suits over a span of 4 or 5 months. Use the paychecks you get there to get some really cheap, half off, 50% off suits because you're an employee. And guess what? Now you have some very nice, very brand name suits that you can keep forever, and you got them for very cheap. I would really recommend that you go get a job where you can acquire a bunch of good clothing. And the awesome thing, if you do work at Nordstrom's, is that they will tailor it for you. They will fit it for you. And shoot, if that isn't a lot to say for, man, I don't know what to tell you. Go spend money on the suit then. Now we can move on to number 3, which is to follow all of the social media influencers who are already real estate agents, who have their own brokerages, they're real estate investors, people like Grant Cardone. The best one, in my opinion, is Meet Kevin. There's others like Graham Stephan, and there's a lot more, but it's up to you to do the research and to find these people, find these influencers who can help you immensely. They can help you with your learning curve. You don't have to learn so many mistakes that the average person makes as they go throughout their career, because there are some mistakes that 98% of people commit in certain fields. And if you have a mentor, if you have a person that is seasoned and has already been there, they can really help you not only avoid these costly mistakes, they can help you advance and become a better real estate agent much faster. And again, this applies for everything else in life and every field of life. So really try to adapt this mentality of finding mentors. And the great thing is that we live in an era, we live in a time where all this information is free. This is insane. Back in the 17, 16, 14, 15, 1300s, information was such a commodity. It was so important. To be scholarly was a huge deal, and it was really rare. Now we have zero excuse for all of us to not be learning all the time. Because that's what I do. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly training my brain. I'm constantly expanding my horizon of my brain. And I highly suggest that if you're going to be watching this channel for growth, start applying and implementing some of the things that I'm implementing that I think work. And the first thing to do with that is to start following influencers. And also, these things are free, you know, like listening to podcasts and watching YouTube channels. There's really no excuse. Like, all this stuff is free. It just takes a matter of time, which I'm sure you have. I do it myself. Heck, I'm sure even a lot of successful YouTubers themselves watch other YouTubes and invest the time to learn how to do things, because it's the greatest asset we have at this moment is all the free information we have from resources like social media and YouTube. It's insane. If you don't take advantage of that, if you don't capitalize on that, I don't think you're seeing how, I don't think you're kind of captivating the opportunities, or you're just not taking full advantage of the opportunities that this world has to offer, especially this country. We all have a chance of doing this. Do it right and don't get lazy. All right, let's go on to number 4, and that is starting to learn how to be friendly and outgoing. This goes out to 80% of you who are introverts. I used to be an introvert. I used to be the most shy, ridiculously quiet kid. If I can find some good pictures that I can easily post, I will. I was an awkward looking kid. I didn't speak much. I was afraid to talk. I always thought that my speech was horrible. And something about growing up and just realizing that, hey, maybe I'm not so dumb after all. Like, maybe if I compare myself to other people, I start to notice that I'm just on the average person's level. And then as you start to work on yourself, you quickly start to supersede people. Why? Because the average person, 95% of people, are too lazy to get up and better themselves, or to every day do something to be just extraordinary. No one ever wants to do this. So if you can start to get the confidence within you to start doing these things, your speech will start to get better. You'll start to be more outgoing. You'll feel yourself more confident to speak out in group settings. And this is stuff that leaders have. These are things that you must possess to eventually become a leader, or be a person of influence and a person of great power. So it's important to start doing things like signing up for speech classes, joining groups, joining clubs, going to a gym so you can talk to people, which all in turn is very important for real estate, because if you want to have connections, you want to have a nice pipeline, you want to have a group of people where you can sell to and have customers out of, you need to have all this stuff in place. You need to have friendships. You gotta have people to trust in you. You want people to kind of believe in you when you speak, because they're gonna say, hey, this person, he sounds knowledgeable, he sounds confident, I'm gonna trust this guy. If you don't have that, you will have a difficult time in real estate. I deeply believe that. I am not a real estate agent yet, but I deeply believe that. The fifth hack that I would recommend is to make a YouTube channel and start a presence on social media and do whatever it takes to get your name out there. Start getting people to see you, so that way when you start to advertise in the future and you're talking to friends and family, some people might be like, hey, I've actually heard of that person, or oh, you know what, that person actually gives out a lot of good advice. So hey, maybe they can give really good real estate advice. If you make a channel, don't just make it about real estate or about whatever you do. Make a channel that is helpful to people in whatever you're good at, whatever you like to do, and then whatever you do for your job, they're going to trust you a little more, because they already know you. If you're successful at making YouTube channels, you're most likely going to be successful at other things. So it's important to have these things in place so that you can kind of advertise yourself and kind of market yourself. And that's going to be key to being a good real estate agent, I believe. So again, keep these 5 things in mind, and I think you and I will be able to go really far in our careers, especially in real estate. So I look forward to making another video and seeing you guys on the next one.